Now at 6, we're going to have tips to prevent hypothermia and frostbite ahead of the coming deep freeze. Plus, how you can save a few extra bucks on your heating bill during these frigid temperatures. And a historic piece of equipment makes its way to the Miners Hall Museum in southeast Kansas.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
It's going to be dangerously cold in the coming days with temperatures hitting near zero at some points. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. Let's go straight to Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy for our first look at the weather.
All right, Dow. Yeah, it's definitely been a warmer day for us today, but huge changes moving in as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. Look at our temps right now. We're mid to upper 50s to lower 60s, but we have an Arctic front, which is heading toward us, and we're going to see temperatures really cool down. Plus, the winds have really been picking up. Southeasterly winds at about 15 to 20 to 25, but gusts have been pushing 40 at times. We do have a winter weather advisory for us late tonight into tomorrow morning, mainly along the I-44 corridor. This is due to a few icy patches and a few snow showers, but our temperatures are going to drop so fast, any rain we get could flash freeze on us, meaning water on the roadways freeze as those temperatures drop. Not too much going on for us right now, but our wave is rotating through western parts of Texas, and of course that's going to head toward us late tonight, so some scattered thunderstorms popping up after about 10 p.m. We're going to be talking more about this and what this means for you, all coming up here in just a bit.
Doug, we'll see you soon. With those dangerously cold temperatures moving in, it's important to be aware of the risk of hypothermia, which can set in within 15 minutes. Reporter Nicholas Zangara has more on how to prevent it if you have to be out in the cold.
Or if your loved ones are starting to be confused, if not answering questions properly, not knowing where they are, if they're starting to show some of those signs, that's an indication that we need to be involved in the emergency department.
Other symptoms of hypothermia include shivering, a weak pulse, and delayed reactions. Most of the time, slowly warming the body indoors with dry towels or blankets will warm the body properly.
Well, this is our warm place to get away to.
Working outside poses many challenges in extremely hot or cold temperatures. When you work with HVACs, that's almost a guarantee. This means watching the forecast to best prepare workers for the worst.
I mean, I found myself stranded for over 8 hours before on some backcountry roads, trying to get out to some HVAC calls.
Brett Callahan prepares his workers with warm winter gear and limits their outdoor exposure.
With the sub-freezing Arctic air coming in, we ask them not to try to stay outside for more than 10 minutes at a time without coming in to warm up.
The most important part about treating hypothermia is doing so slowly. The last thing you want to do after experiencing frostbite or hypothermia is hop into a boiling hot shower.
Then when you get out of the cold and into the rewarming, if you do it too rapidly, when they start to dilate, can actually damage those tissues. Usually it goes most distal, meaning the farthest away. So our fingertips and our toe tips, basically. And they'll start to change color. They also will start to get blisters. So you actually see raised blisters, and the tissue will actually start to come off or peel off.
Doctors stress that children and the elderly are at the highest risk for hypothermia, especially if they're on medications that alter their perception of temperatures. As the temperatures drop down to single digits, Spire Energy is sharing some tips to help you save on your energy bill. One is to open curtains to south-facing windows during the day to let sunlight help heat your home, then close them at night for insulation and to block drafts.
You can check your windows for drafts, and if it's too late to go to the store and buy some stuff, you can put towels in front of them. Your doors also the same thing. Change your filter in your furnace to make it a little more efficient because they're going to be running a lot here in the next couple of weeks.
For more tips to help you save this winter, go to our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. We're still awaiting an update from Liberty Utilities concerning the collapse of a wind turbine in Barton County, Missouri. Now, as we told you yesterday, the turbine is part of the North Fork Ridge Wind Farm off Highway 43. Liberty says no one was hurt in the collapse. We've reached out to the company for any information on the cause of the collapse and on their investigation into the incident. We have not yet received a response. A man who bought a Powerball ticket in Jasper County is now $50,000 richer. The Missouri Lottery today announced a ticket won the prize when it matched 4 of the 5 white ball numbers plus the Powerball on the December 30th drawing. Casey's General Store on West 7th Street in Joplin sold that ticket. The winning numbers were 10, 11, 26, 27, and 34 with a Powerball number of 7. The Miners Hall Museum in Franklin, Kansas now has another piece of history thanks to a donation that was moved in today. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
The Miners Hall Museum is receiving a piece of history in the form of a 30,000-pound Inslee Model K-12 dragline.
We had to disassemble the boom first. It was up in the air. The machine's not operational, so we had to take the boom down with another crane. And then we used the excavator and skid loader to pull it up on the lowboy trailer we have here.
Back in the glory days, this dragline was used to mine for clay in southeast Kansas. Now it's a piece of history.
As far as draglines go, it's not a very big one. But it's very important because these machines are being scrapped all the time. They're worth more in scrap than they are to most people.
The dragline will sit in the museum showcase field along with other mining antiques.
It's going to be so wonderful to have it on our
site. I think it's going to be a little while because we've got a pad to put around it. But I mean, as far as driving by, you can take a look at it. It'll be here.
The museum is preparing to add an even bigger dragline after this one.
This is the small machine we're moving for Miners Hall. The other machine we're moving weighs around 500,000 pounds. And it's going to go about 40-some miles, but it's going to be a lot bigger project than this.
It fills a big hole in our display, and it's kind of an introduction to the page, the big dragline that's coming later this year.
Reporting in Crawford County, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
That larger drag line is going to be delivered to the Miners Hall Museum in the coming months. Coming up, Vernon County authorities say a county jail inmate is dead after an apparent overdose. Plus, the families of 6 missing St. Louis area residents are concerned their disappearance could be connected to a cult. Authorities in Vernon County, Missouri say an inmate at the county jail died last night, apparently of an overdose. They say jail staff discovered 3 inmates in a cell were overdosing. 2 of them are now recovering, but 1 died. The Missouri State Highway Patrol is taking over that investigation. Look at this. Police in Aurora, Missouri say a man stole a gaming machine from a store by pretending to be from a company called Torch and then just walking out the door with it. This is surveillance video of that incident. Happened around 6:30 yesterday evening at the Shriner store at 3100 South Elliott in Aurora. Authorities are now searching for the man and the U-Haul box truck he loaded that machine onto. The license plate number of the truck is AH27088 with an unknown state. The families of 6 people who went missing from Berkeley, Missouri want to know their loved ones are okay after police believe their mysterious disappearance is part of a religious or spiritual cult. Reporter Diamond Palmer spoke with one of the families and has more.
Cartisha Morgan is pleading for someone to come forward with information about her daughter, Michaela Wickerson. Berkeley police say Wickerson is one of 6 people who were influenced by a cult leader and disappeared from North St. Louis County in August of 2023. Morgan says her daughter stopped working, stopped all communication, and abruptly moved out to this home on Graham Lane. She believes her daughter is dealing with a severe mental illness.
That she was probably suffering from postpartum depression. And these people online, and they just preyed on her weakness.
Among those missing are Wickerson, her 3-year-old daughter Malaya, and 4 others, Jeriel German and her son Ashton Mitchell, and adults Naaman Williams and Michaela Thompson. Berkeley police believe they are following the teachings of a man named Rashad Jamal. Among other things, they say he taught totally disconnecting from family, practicing polygamy, and meditating nude. Carrie Roberts is a neighbor and witnessed that nude meditation. She told me she knew Michaela Wickerson.
From beginning to then, it was totally different. She cut out her house, she started growing dreads and her baby used to come play in the yard with my nephew, and all of a sudden she stopped letting the baby come over here.
Meanwhile, Morgan is pleading that her daughter and the others just let family know they're okay.
I know that people have many different opinions of this, but if it was their family member, everybody wants to know that their family member is well. If she chooses to still stay out, I just would like to know that her and my granddaughter are safe. That's all. If she can just contact us and let us know.
Anyone with information about the missing people or their whereabouts is asked to call the Berkeley Police Department. Doug is next with a complete look at our forecast, and later Missouri Southern and Pitt State basketball both hit the floor today. We're going to break down their matchups.
All right, it's been a warmer day for us today after it's been kind of chilly over the past couple days. All the snow that we had on Tuesday is all melted off. I've been under the weather the past couple days. That's why I'm working from home, but still, I get a little excited when we have changes moving in. It looks good right now. Notice the camera is shaking. This is our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex tower cam. This is downtown Joplin. Partly cloudy skies, but check this out. Look at this Arctic air blast. This is our first one that we've seen of the season. It's 8 in Rapid City. It's 10 in Goodland. It's 13 in Lincoln. And that cold air is going to be rushing in later on tonight. Plus, the winds are going to stay strong. Our southerly winds have been picking up. Just over the past couple hours, we've had gusts anywhere from 20 upwards of 30 and even 35 miles per hour at times. And the winds are going to be a problem, especially when our temperatures continue to drop. So by morning, we're going to have northwesterly winds gusting between 30 and 40. They calm a little bit late tomorrow, and then they pick up again as we go into Saturday. So we're going to have low wind chills over the next few days. In fact, the way it's going to feel to your skin by tomorrow afternoon, look at this, 2, 3, 4 degrees. So bitterly cold. Wind chills drop -5, -10 by Saturday morning. And then look at this, Saturday night into Sunday morning, wind chills -20 to -30, which is bitterly cold. Winter weather advisory in effect. This is mainly due to a light glaze of ice later on tonight and a light glaze of snow. Most of the moisture is going to be off to our east, but at least for the next couple hours, we just have clouds. Now, you can see some showers picking up across the panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas, and that's where some thunderstorms are going to develop as we get into the late evening hours. So let me take you through time. Look at this. Thunderstorms, a complex rolls in 10:30, 11, 11:30, midnight. Some of these storms, especially south of I-44, they may pack a little bit of a punch. We may have some strong storms. Temperatures greatly drop. By 4 or 5 a.m., we have some freezing drizzle and a band of light little snow. It all pushes east by mid-morning, but look at the temps into the 20s. As we get into the afternoon, clouds stick. We get a little bit of sun late, but high temps, only about 20 or 23 degrees, and then it gets even worse as we go into the weekend. Look at this, by Saturday morning, overnight lows right around 10 degrees. So winter weather impacts. Snow, we're going to go low, but because of some flash freezing, some water on the roadways freezing, we're going to go moderate impacts on ice. High impacts on cold and the wind with those very, very low wind chills. But late tonight into tomorrow morning, just be careful on the roads. A glaze of ice, a dusting, maybe a half an inch of snow. The better chances for that is going to be in southwestern Missouri. But look at our temps staying into the lower 20s. 4 highs for us tomorrow, and it gets worse. By Sunday morning, lows right around 0. And check this out, another band of snow moves in by Sunday afternoon into Sunday evening, and our temperatures are going to be into the single digits, so whatever does fall is going to stay on the ground. Alert days the next few days for the extreme cold, possible alert days Monday and Tuesday, but this Arctic air, it settles in for the next several days. Dow?
Doug, thanks. Get well soon, buddy. Still ahead, more major coaching changes coming to pro football, and Missouri Southern men's and women's basketball is hosting Fort Hays State tonight. Brock Baldridge is going to have a preview and more coming up in sports.
The Missouri Southern Lions men's and women's basketball teams are each coming off big road wins over their rivals Pitt State last weekend. The Lions women's team is coming off of a 6-game winning streak. Meanwhile, the men have won 3 of their last 4 games. The women tonight played their first game in just over a month on that 6-game winning streak. The Lions have beaten a ranked team top 20 or higher in 3 of their last 4 games. And tonight, it doesn't get any easier as the Lions host number 15th ranked Fort Hays State. Tip-off is just underway. We'll have those highlights tonight at 10. Meanwhile, over to the men's side, Missouri Southern hosting Fort Hays State. The Tigers are in 2nd place in the MIAA standings, so a big opportunity for Missouri Southern tonight as tip-off for that one is scheduled at 7:30 p.m. We'll have highlights and more from that tonight at 10. Well, the Pittsburgh State Gorillas are also in action tonight. It was a rough Saturday for both the men's and women's teams at John Lance Arena, but the Gorillas are right back at it this week as they host Nebraska Kearney. The Pitt State women's basketball team hosting the defending MIAA champions of last season. The Gorillas and the Nebraska Kearney Lopers are at their intermission at the moment. We'll have highlights from that game right here tonight at 10. And the Pittsburgh State men's team is coming off of a loss that snapped their 5-game winning streak. The Gorillas will also host Nebraska Kearney tonight. This game isn't scheduled to tip off until 7:30 p.m. All of those highlights from that game right here on KOAM tonight at 10. Well, the Oklahoma City Thunder wrapped up their 4-game road trip over to the East Coast after last night's win over Miami. The Thunder return home to the Paycom Center for a 2-game home stretch. The Thunder host the Portland Trail Blazers tonight. OKC looking to keep that half-game lead over Denver for the 2 seed in the standings, but a win tonight could also give the Thunder the number 1 seed with the Minnesota Timberwolves in the Western Conference standings. This game tips off at 7 p.m. tonight. We'll have a final score update right here tonight at 10. Speaking of the Thunder, we also want to mention that you can watch future Thunder games right here on KOAM and Fox 14, along with the 4-state CW. And here's a glance at the games that you can watch on our airwaves for the remainder of the regular season. The first game will be broadcasted on KOAM in just over 2 weeks when OKC faces the New Orleans Pelicans. You can find more information and the schedule on our website. That's KOAMnews.com/sports. Well, if yesterday wasn't enough, there were more coaching changes on Thursday morning as the New England Patriots have announced that they have parted ways with 6-time Super Bowl winning head coach Bill Belichick. Belichick spent the previous 24 years as head coach for the New England Patriots. Belichick leaves New England as 3rd all-time in regular season wins for an NFL head coach. And there's your look for sports. We'll be back with more news right after this.
Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. An upcoming film festival in Webb City, Missouri is going to feature a movie spotlighting a Parsons, Kansas fashion trailblazer. Plus, we're going to look at some healthy snack choices that won't hinder your health goals and how a school is teaching its students to recognize what's real and what's made by AI. Those stories, a lot more, of course, it's coming up tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Now let's check back in with Doug for a final look at the weather.
All right, Scaren, thunderstorms in here late this evening, and then a little bit of freezing drizzle, light coating of snow late tonight, but turning much colder. Only 23 tomorrow, only 20 Saturday, only 10 on Sunday, with another band of light snow late Sunday into Monday. So bitterly cold temperatures really rolling in, settling in for about the next 5 or 6 days. Dow?
Thanks, Doug, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. Let's make it a great evening.